Welcome to Corfu, Greece. Small airport. We actually ended up flying into Athens and then flying from Athens to Corfu in a small plane, which reminds me, on the small plane, luggage is very important. So if you have a carry-on, make sure it's not longer than 22 inches, international travel. Otherwise, they are going to charge you for it. So keep that in mind. We ended up taking a taxi over to our hotel, but I highly suggest, and you'll see us do this later, is get a rental car. I took a shot of this because I hadn't seen a radio like this in a car in a long time, and I thought it was adorable, so I thought I'd, capture that. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. Here you can see we are back at the airport to get a rental car. This small island, but it is a big island. There's lots to see. Make sure when you get a rental car that you get the smallest that you possibly can, I guess depending on your party. Parking here is extremely limited. It's very tight, small parking spots, if you can even find a parking spot. Now here I show the euros because they are not a fan of the US dollar, so make sure you get yourself some euros. I would suggest not getting an exchange at the airport. It costs a whole lot more. Kaiser Hotel. So this is where we stayed, and what a magnificent hotel this is. It's family owned, and everyone here was incredibly personable, sweet, and charming. And as you can see, the views here were absolutely gorgeous. This was such a great place. We had a great time at the Kaiser Bridge. Not only did we have good views, like I think he was one of the owners, incredibly friendly. They also have a continental breakfast, which was just a perfect amount of food to help you start your day. Because you're gonna eat a lot of food. You don't need to have a big ass breakfast, okay? Slow your ass down, wait until lunch and dinner. They had a nice selection of basic things that you could possibly need to start your day. Eggs, croissant, whatever. It was perfect, and everything was fresh, even the bread. Now this, I showed that because they will give you towels. They say on their website, I think that they'll charge you for it, but then they'll refund you. They ended up just giving it to us and just asked that you give it back. So don't be a dick, return your towels, and you'll stay in their good graces. If you need assistance, keep in mind they do have a couple of floors on the lower level. The stairs are the best way to get around in that hotel, and there is an elevator that can fit about 2 people. As far as the rooms, look at these rooms, y'all. These rooms are adorable with an amazing view. You're not asking for a whole lot. It's very simple. The rooms are clean, plenty of air conditioning. Not a whole lot. It's not a spectacular room, but it's a perfect room, right? Because you're in Corfu. How much time are you really going to be spending in your room? Doesn't mean it should be a half-ass room, but everything that you could possibly need. They even give you additional amenities as needed. Very, very simple and pleasant hotel. The parking here is limited, but they will assist you if you pull up and the parking is full. Then they will park your vehicle for you or give you a special valet parking. Shot earlier, those are people waiting at the bus stop. There is a bus stop literally right across the street. I don't know the times because we had a rental car, but if a rental car is not an option for you, they do have a bus that will run for most of the day. Here you can see at the Kaiser Hotel, they had entertainment, which was also very nice every evening. Food. We love to talk about food, and some of you base y'all vacation strictly on how good the food was. Well, to start it off, the food was amazing at the Kaiser Hotel. They have nightly dinner specials, and I believe this particular night that we had their dinner, it was pork chops, and yeah, look at that. It was juicy, it was tender, it was perfect. So you do have that option if you're staying at the Kaiser Bridge. They have a nice dinner menu as well, and as you can see, they try to do their thing at the bar, which was I'm a fan of entertainment at the bar. We also went out and got food at other places. I will put every single restaurant that you see here in the description. We had some really, really good, authentic Greek food. I mean, so good that I came back to the States and I can't even eat Greek food out here because you just can't do it right. But out here, everything was delicious. The produce is incredibly fresh. The protein is tender, also fresh, and they serve fries almost with every single meal. And those were also fresh, the right amount of crisp. I don't like soggy ass fries, y'all. I mean, just perfection. Now, the amount of walking that you should be doing, don't worry about it. You're gonna burn off all that food. This was actually in the town square. We got some gelato, and OMGesus, the gelato was perfection. We also, you have to make sure that you get one of their authentic desserts, which is Bavlika, right? Oh gosh, I've been saying it the whole time and now I can't say it right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I had a lot of that because it was so good. Now it's interesting, Greece is kind of known for their limoncello. I've always known it to be Italy, but as you can see, I am throwing it back, and it was because their limoncello was also absolutely delicious. They had all kinds of flavors, and we took as many shots of that as we could to the head, and yeah, we had a good time. So the food here was actually on a food tour. I briefly going to talk about it on things to do, but if you are a foodie and one that wants to try lots of foods, you can go on Viator, and there's a whole bunch of different tours that you can take to try some really good food. We did a walking tour, which we were basically walking around the square, and we got a chance to sample a lot of really good Greek dishes. Okay, so for beaches, there are a lot of beautiful beaches in Corfu. The only thing is, you gotta find them. I would suggest going on other YouTube channels that were traveling to different beaches and getting the names of these beaches, because you kind of gotta hunt for them and hike to quite a few of them. Now I will tell you, it is absolutely worth it once you get down to these beaches. But yeah, they're not just like easy to find. We ended up looking for a beach and then found this resort type place and was like, F it, why don't we stay here? Because we can get cocktails and food at the same time. It's just not like your authentic beach, but it was absolutely gorgeous. The surface was perfection. And again, we had a good time. So this was one of the beaches that we had to locate, and then we had to park and we had to hike quite a bit down to get to the water. So if you're kind of not up to walking, I wouldn't suggest it, but like I said, absolutely worth it once you get there. Beach stop number 1. This place is absolutely gorgeous and cold. I don't know, I'll have beach stop number 1, the official name of this beach here, but this is very, very refreshing. And lots of rocks. Lots and lots and lots and lots of rocks. But we already knew that Greece is known for their rocky beaches, so now we are off to beach number 2. Yes, make sure you bring your water shoes. These are some big ass rocks all the way into the water. Very, very painful. So as beautiful as the view was, just make sure that you bring your water shoes. And that particular beach, that water was cold. I couldn't get in that water. I wanted to. I could look at it, but I'm telling you, that water was cold, like Pacific Ocean, freezing cold. Gorgeous, but cold. We are at spot number 2. This one actually has sand, which is nice. Water's still cold, still freezing, plenty of parking, and there are restaurants. The chairs fill up fast though, so you gotta get here early if you want to purchase umbrellas and place, but there's plenty of places to put your towel down and relax, and now it's time to go swimming. Also with these beaches, you're gonna wanna show up early. Like I was saying earlier, the parking situations gets full quickly, so the earlier you get there, the better seats and better spots you'll have at the beach. So here we are at beach number 3. Beach number 3 has legit sand on the beach. It's a little bit harder to get to. The roads get really windy and you look like you're about to drive off the cliff. I wasn't really a fan of that. But once you get down here, it's got restaurants, pretty good parking, and the water is a tad bit warmer out here, so it's much, I think out of the 3 beaches, the first one is the prettiest, but this is the one that I can actually like get in. This particular beach was another one that was a hike too. I'm saying these roads are really, really thin, and GPS got a little funny at sometimes too. So if your gut is telling you, I don't know if we should go this way, even though the GPS is saying you should, don't go that way. We had a situation where we were like, yeah, we're gonna die if we continue to drive on this road. So keep that in mind. But again, once you get to the beach, it's absolutely gorgeous. But if you've got kind of a light stomach, just keep that in mind. Some of these are a bit to get to. So our trip, we did a lot of chilling and beaches and food, but there are a lot of things to do in Corfu, a lot of things to see. Like I said, I would suggest going on Viator or even YouTubing things to do in Corfu, but their biggest attraction is really the town and the town square. So as you can see, there's lots of shopping. This part right here, see what had happened was, like I was saying earlier, we were following the GPS, and we realized that we were going on some roads that were not meant for vehicles, like this particular spot right here. So check all maps, check GPS, and make sure also that it's the GPS for driving and not GPS for walking. It helps out a lot. But like I was saying, the town square is where you're going to probably see most of the stuff that Corfu has to offer. Just want to quickly note here, if you're able and willing to get a scooter, I would rent those first before renting a car, more so because of parking, how easy it is to park almost anywhere with the scooter, especially if you're going to head downtown. But if you got a party with you, in which we did, where we also had my parents, we had a vehicle. So here we are in the square area. They're kind of like they're downtown. There's a castle with history stuff, and you get to learn more about the history of Corfu and how they came to be. On our walking tour, the lady told us about this guy, and I can't remember the significance of him, but at the time, it looks like I thought he was pretty dope, so I got some shots. Here's us with our tour guide, and she was incredibly kind, personable, full of information, and answered almost every single question we had. And this was a walking tour. Look how thin she is. She must walk a lot because we were quite full. That's my mom. So what is there to see in the square of Corfu? Well, plenty of history if you're into that, which I am. I'm a visual learner. I like to see it, not really read about it, so this was cool. This was interesting. Their buildings, they won't update them. I guess they don't want to mess with the integrity of the history of the buildings. I don't know, but you're gonna see a lot of buildings that could use some paint. But anyways, this is the square, and it's actually quite large. You can get lost in here. There's a lot of shopping in here of all kinds. Clothing, food, just little knickknacks, obviously stuff that says Corfu on it, made just for tourists, all kinds of stuff. So do plan on visiting the local square. There's a lot to see there, and it's pretty fun. This, we just did a little wine tour on our way to the beaches. That guy didn't really feel like he wanted to sell us anything, so we kept it moving. I have this restaurant, which was absolutely delicious. I will have their info in the description as well. And this guy was, he was fun to chat with. I have this restaurant in the things to do category because they are right next to the airport where the airplanes land. And that is actually listed as one of the number 6 thing to do in Corfu is to go out on that pier and watch these planes fly over us. You're gonna see us do that in a few minutes. I'd never done anything like that, so I said, heck yeah, let's go do that. And it actually was pretty neat. I'd never been under a plane like that, but that's pretty cool. So if you go and eat at that restaurant and hang out for a bit, they'll let you park. you know, in their restaurant area, which, like I've been saying this whole entire video, parking is a mother. So if you want to grab some food, park your car and then walk down to the pier. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it and I think you might too. So this looks a little fun, right? A little burst of adrenaline. So that's pretty much gonna do it as far as the basics on what to expect in Corfu, Greece. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If I'm gonna add one more thing, if you're traveling between islands, I would definitely suggest taking the ferry. We got on the plane and we had to go to Athens and then go to the other islands, just a whole waste of a day. I'm Queen G 22.